Princess Zara stood on the crystal balcony of her palace watching the stars above her homeworld of Kirion. The purple moons cast their glow across the silver cities below, where her people lived in peace for over 1,000 years until the dark ships came. The Vorthak Empire had swept across dozens of worlds, consuming everything in their path. Their black vessels blocked out suns, and their warriors knew no mercy. Zara had watched helplessly as neighboring planets fell one by one, sending desperate messages before going silent forever. Now they were coming for Kirion, and her people had no weapons that could stop them. The Kirion had evolved beyond warfare, focusing on art, science, and philosophy. Their greatest weapons were beauty and knowledge, but those meant nothing against the Vorthak war machines. 3 days ago, everything changed when a single human ship appeared in their system. The vessel was small and damaged, clearly having fought many battles. The pilot requested sanctuary and medical aid, which Zara granted immediately, despite her advisor's warnings about the unknown species. The human called himself Commander Jake Morrison, and he was unlike anything Zara had ever seen. His species was young compared to hers, existing for mere thousands of years instead of millions. Yet when he spoke of the Vorthak, his blue eyes burned with a fire that made her heart race. Jake told them he had been fighting the Vorthak for 5 years after they destroyed his colony, world. He had studied their tactics, learned their weaknesses, and developed new strategies to fight them. His small ship carried weapons and technology that could hurt the Dark Empire. At first, the Kirion Council rejected his offer to help. They believed their diplomatic skills could find a peaceful solution. Jake listened patiently, then showed them recordings from other worlds. The screaming silence that followed convinced even the most stubborn council members. Princess Zara found herself drawn to this strange warrior who carried such pain yet still fought for others. His hands were scarred from battles, his voice rough from shouting orders, but when he looked at her there was something gentle and familiar that made her soul sing. Jake began training Kirion volunteers in human warfare tactics. He showed them how to turn their crystal technology into weapons, how to use their city's architecture for defense, and how to think like predators instead of prey. The transformation amazed everyone, including Zara. During the long planning sessions, Zara and Jake grew closer. She had never felt such connection with anyone before. It was as if they had known each other across lifetimes. When he spoke of Earth and its blue skies, she could almost see them. When she described Kirion's crystal gardens, he seemed to remember walking among them. The night before the Vorthak arrived, Jake came to her private chambers. His usual confident manner was replaced by nervous energy. He took her hands in his scarred ones and spoke words that changed everything he told her. He had not been entirely truthful about his past. Yes, he was human, and yes, he had fought the Vorthak for years, but there was something else. Something he had discovered only after arriving on Kirion. Jake explained that 5 years ago, while fleeing the destruction of his world, his ship had been caught in a temporal storm. The event had scattered his memories and thrown him backward in time. He had been living the same period over and over, trying to save worlds that were destined to fall. But Kirion was different. Each time the loop reset, he found himself drawn here to this world and to her. Something about Princess Zara anchored him in this timeline, and slowly, his true memories began returning. The shocking truth was that in the original timeline, Jake and Zara had been married. They had met when a human diplomatic mission visited Kirion 7 years in the future. Their love had been instant and deep, crossing the boundaries between species. They had planned to unite their peoples in the face of the growing Vorthak threat. But the temporal storm had torn them apart, sending Jake back to relive the war, while Zara lived forward without any memory of their future together. The Jake she was falling in love with was actually her husband from a timeline that might never exist. Zara felt her world shifting as the memories slowly returned, triggered by his presence. Her dreams of blue skies and strange music suddenly made sense. The feeling of recognition when she first saw him was not imagination, but the echo of a love that transcended time itself. Before she could fully process this revelation, the Vorthak fleet arrived early, their black ships blotted out the stars as they descended toward Kyrion. The battle Jake had been preparing for was about to begin. Princess Zara stood beside her warrior husband, feeling complete for the first time in years that felt like lifetimes. The temporal storm had tried to separate them, but love had found a way across the barriers of time and space. Jake squeezed her hand and smiled, the expression transforming his scarred face into something beautiful. He had fought across time itself to return to her side. Now they would face the darkness together as they were always meant to. The Vorthak ships opened fire on Kyrion's shields but found them ready. Human tactics merged with Kyrian crystal technology, created defenses the Empire had never encountered. Jake commanded the battle from the palace, while Zara coordinated her people with skills she somehow remembered from training she had never received. As the first wave of enemy fighters fell burning from the purple sky, Princess Zara realized that some love stories were written in the stars themselves. The temporal storm that seemed like a curse had actually been a gift, allowing them to fight this battle with the wisdom of experience they had never lived.